Yeah, it's big smiles.
Guys, the pain of open houses. We are one of the few countries in the world that does do open houses when selling properties. Are they really worth it? And why do we do it as an industry? Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Oh, good morning,
Two up,
Mark.
Billy.
Two up, Billy. You can call me two
Hi.
up for the rest of the day, I think. I'm on a high. Quite
You
literally.
really?
Yeah, I was on a winner yesterday. I, for the first time ever, placed a bet and I came out on top. I beat the house.
Unbelievable. And where'd you go? You went Diggers.
Yeah, Harbord Diggers in Freshwater. I have to say, it was the most unbelievable day. I'm pretty sure that, two up is not played anywhere else in the world, and only on Anzac Day. It's definitely going to be in my calendar marked as an important day, even more so for next year. It was just great.
Yeah. 19 years of age, first time you've done it. I am 45 and I haven't done it. I'm feeling a bit embarrassed at the moment. I've got to get out there one next year and do it. But start at 12 o'clock, finished at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was a bit late to the party, so I didn't get there for 12, but we did the dawn service in the morning, which was really nice. Got a good sunrise. But yeah, it was just the most unbelievable afternoon. It was so good to see all these different, age people just having a good time. Beers were on. Everyone's back out. It was very back to normal. It was really fun.
And you were saying before off air, what a country like this. There's not a country like this in the world where we can all get together and do something like that, and gambling like that is legal and everyone's together. Was it controlled or a bit out of control?
No, it was controlled. It was everyone was around, the circle. It was good, and like you said, it just makes you think we are in such a good country. And I know it's only one day a year that it goes on for, but yeah, we were lucky. We're really lucky.
Australia, a cracker place. Now, this morning's topic, guys and girls, we're talking about open houses, the necessity for open houses. And if you didn't know, we're one of the only countries in the world that actually do open homes. It's quite unusual that it's not common out there in most industries. But, we regularly advertise open home slots. We regularly advertise for people just to come and visit. Without making an appointment to the property, and I guess it's a pretty trustworthy thing as the real estate agents and house sellers do to allow people to walk in and waltz through their home without like a security check or an ID check, and it works.
Yeah, it's funny, and I have to ask the first question: have you always been doing 2 open homes a week, the entirety of your career?
Yeah, good question. First 15 years, just Saturday, okay. and by appointment through the week, and then probably last good 10 years the midweek and the Saturday doing 2. So it's probably it's a newer thing doing the 2 slots.
Yeah, because obviously for anyone joining the industry, it just feels normal. You're straight into it and off you go. Was that the industry changing, Mark, or as a business, did some people sort of just lead the way and make it the norm?
I think it started getting for us, it started getting pretty busy during the week with the appointments, and it was like, why don't we just allow a slot to go through on a Wednesday? But there were certain different pockets of Sydney's where I guess, the CBD workers, there was that necessity that they Monday to Friday they couldn't get out of the city. But that's all changed now. So it's, I guess, in terms of numbers, to give everyone an idea, an average number through an open house on a Saturday would probably be 5 or 10 in this current market, and our average number for Wednesday open houses would probably be 3 to 6. That's probably. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. And we said off air, a good property will always have good numbers coming through. doesn't matter when you post the time online. And we'll get onto that bit as we move forward. But we've experimented open times on different days at different times, and the reality is that it's busy. Good properties will sell in any market and are always busy.
Absolutely. And we've just sold our place lately, and I do have to say it is a pain in the ass for a seller to have your home pristine, ready to go twice a week. Really, really hard work for sellers. It's out, and I also think for buyers, all the agents' open houses are at the same time. So that sort of 11 o'clock or that 12 o'clock slot seems to be the most popular slot out there, and it's definitely hard for buyers to get out there because all agents are operating within those same times. The good properties get good slots. Yeah,
you said it was like military operation, getting the house ready twice a week. There's so much to coordinate, pets, kids, work, working from home if that's the case. There's a lot to juggle, and it's the reality is, most of the properties, I'd say 50% are either tenanted or owner occupied. There's only the small handful that are selling vacant and potentially furnished, styled, or where you've got that flexibility. But on the most part, it's you've got someone living in there.
Yeah, and I think your body's on the line when you're a seller. Morning, Jeff. Hawaii legend. I think when you're a seller, also, I think you almost expect that you could be selling at a smaller price if you don't represent the property well. So you actually concentrate all of your love, all of your efforts, all of your time on every open. So it's not just the base. It's not just a necessity thing of how hard is it to be to get the property open for your agent. But I think as a seller, you're thinking, man, I've just got to give this my all. And giving it your all is just like clean, tidy, fix every single open house. Besides Saturdays, Sundays are successful. Yep. Billy, you've had a pretty good run with Sunday open houses as well. I've done them throughout my career. Why do the Sundays work well? If you're giving someone a Wednesday and you're giving someone a Saturday, how the hell is Wednesday going to work?
Yeah,
sorry. A Saturday and a Wednesday, how's a Sunday going to work? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I think the important thing is to have these times open when people can have time to see the property. Sunday is a great example of that. As good as a Saturday is, families have got sport commitments in a very similar window of time to when we have our open homes, early morning. They might be coming up, away from, a big Friday night or something like that. So there's so many different things on a Saturday morning. Sundays, definitely people have got time. And like I said, we've had some pretty good success. Mark, you've gone sideways. We've lost Mark. Probably joined back in. But yeah, Sunday open homes definitely worked. We actually had a couple of deals put together just on the back of people being able to see the property quickly, easily, at a time that suits. So it's been really, really good. Lisa's nailed it there. People have time on Sunday. We've also seen a lot of people coming back for a second inspection on a Sunday, funny enough. So people come through on the Saturday, then they'll bring the parents back for the second look or get the second opinion. So I guess you could say the demographic of people who are coming back on a Sunday is a little bit different. But at the end of the day, it does come down to when people have got time. On a Sunday, we probably get, I'd say 3 to 4 groups on the good properties. Sometimes a little bit more. Sometimes they can be obviously a little bit quieter. But the important thing is you've got the times online when people have time, as well. So it's been good. I think we've lost Mark Novak well and truly by now. But yeah, no, that's I think that's almost a wrap of today's episode. Are open homes worth it? Absolutely, yes, they are. It's definitely no coincidence that the industry, hasn't replaced them. completely with online content. Here comes Mark.
Sorry, mate.
You're coming back. I was just, I was almost wrapping up. I was just saying it's no coincidence that the industry hasn't replaced open homes completely with just online content. Just a quick YouTube video or one of the swanky agent videos that often see on a lot of agent profiles.
Yeah, look, I think that's been interesting that you would have thought, with Zoom and DocuSign that we moved over to just doing a deal online. And I've got to be straight up. That hasn't happened. It's made people more comfortable with getting deeper content, richer content, and finding out a lot more about properties before they get there, particularly a floor plan, having all that stuff there. But yeah, definitely, I think there's that necessity to walk through is there more than ever. And you probably touched on retail. Retail's probably lost people through the door because they've made the purchase online. But I don't think real estate has lost people through the door. People haven't just purchased online a unit or a house to buy.
Yeah, well, there's people a heck of a lot smarter than you or I that are, investing huge amounts of money and time into tracking what people are doing. And things like clothes shopping, whether it be food, groceries, whatever it is, there's still a huge amount of businesses that have shops where people can go in person. And they don't necessarily need to have that, but they do as an option. And I think that speaks volume. Real estate's the same. Yes, you could move everything online, but people want to be walking through what they're going to buy, especially for such a huge amount of money,
And still, content that we're handing out at open houses is the same. So the willingness for people to take a brochure, the willingness for people to take the collateral, printed documentation that's there, not a contract, but that all people are still taking all that printed content at an open house. I think belly to belly with the real estate agent's really important. I think going through the properties as necessary, not being replaced by digital. The slot times are the same. They haven't really changed much. I don't know. I think it's definitely here for the future, and it's not going there with open houses. And just a tip to people. I've never had. We do thousands and thousands and thousands of open houses. Never had something go missing in an open house. So I don't know if that's the northern beaches of Sydney or if that's a Sydney-wide thing, but people are pretty trusting. You don't normally get anything. I've never heard of anything getting knocked off at an open house, which is interesting. You'd think there'd be that exposure for that happening.
Yeah, I think that's it's a good point to highlight. People, and for rental properties as well, people through COVID were worried about, other people coming into the home and not necessarily touching things, but just being in there. You got to remember that you were in someone else's home to actually move into that property, unless you were one of the handful of properties that it was vacant. So you've almost been on both sides of the coin in most cases when looking for a property for sale or rent. Big time. One other.
That's what else we got about opens? You got another one?
Yeah, I got one more that I'd like to mention. You've been selling off the plan. It's great to see a developer has invested the money to have a showroom where you can take people through in person. And I think that must be not only helpful for you to sell the property off the plan, but it's far more beneficial for someone looking to buy off the plan to actually have some sort of an indication what they're getting themselves into.
And to see that quality of the kitchen and bathroom, there's so many variables in off the plan. Just to actually have that not variable, that is my kitchen and that is my bathroom quality, I think is important. But the open houses for those showrooms they've been really busy and very, very necessary. But open houses I think they're here to stay. Open houses have been around probably now for more than 30 odd years. Security, there's no issue. Time's about 30 to 45 minutes. That's about the general time that agents are doing. Rental are doing a half the time. So a rental open house is 15 minutes.
Yep.
But all in all, concluding on that, they're a winner.
Absolutely. And they're here to stay, like you said.
Big time.
I think that is a wrap.
That's a wrap. And have a good day, everyone. Enjoy this short week, and hope you had a good tour up yesterday. Mate, it sounds like that was one of the best days of your life yesterday.
I did say it was life changing. Yeah. If it's not in the calendar for next year, it's got to be, do the dawn service and maybe even get there a little bit earlier. Get there on 12. And for anyone betting 50-50 odds, I don't think there's any other game quite as good as that. So I was trying to work out the math behind it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you got there, you went to Harbour Diggers at 5 a.m, did you?
No, so I did the sunrise down at DY Beachfront. And then, the gates opened at 12 p.m. to start the betting, closed at 6. And, there was some people walking around with pretty big wads of cash. I don't know whether they were withdrawn out the ATM or on a winning streak, but it's good to see.
That's gold. So you went down at 5 on DY Beachfront. Was there many people down there?
Yeah, really busy, actually. Again, that's nice to just see people out, together, watching the sun come up. Simple stuff, simple living, all in respect.
And then everyone goes to a restaurant, goes for a coffee and a brekkie after that on the beach, do they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I had a little coffee, walked the dog. It's good. Back to normal.
So
Bring back normal.
Back to normal.
That's it.
All right. Take care. Sorry about the technical hitch today, everyone.
That's all right. All good. Thanks, Mark.
See you, man.